You're going nowhere at the moment. Okay, you're detained until I
detained?
confirm your name and address.
Under what section am I detained?
I'm going to confirm that shortly, okay? I'm after your name and address.
No, what provision?
Like I've explained.
What provision? What section of what?
Under the counter-terrorism law.
Which section?
I'm obliged to ask for your name and address.
Yeah, but which section?
Which section?
Yeah, I need to know for my personal records, because I keep personal records.
That's fine. I'll refer to my pocket notebook and I'll give you a full legislation here.
Make sure to subscribe and support their original work. In this clip, an auditor is filming outside a football stadium on match day when an officer suddenly confronts him. Within moments, the situation escalates dramatically. The officer detains him under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act. What follows is pure chaos. The officer openly admits he hasn't properly established legal grounds, pulls out his phone mid-encounter to look up the law he's trying to enforce, and attempts to wield extreme counterterrorism powers simply to extract a name and address. Let's break down exactly what happens.
You're filming people.
I'm not filming them people at all.
I've just stood watching you.
No, I was changing the battery.
Right, okay. Well, I'm not going to dispute that, but you were stood by a fence line observing people. Have you got a ticket for the match?
For your own sake, in future, if you get press as well, because it's quite a common question for press law that we would ask.
You're just using every trick in the book. You want to do this, don't you? Go on, come on, go and do it.
Your name and address.
Go on, do it. Come on.
I don't want to search you. I'm asking for your name and address.
Why do you want my name and address?
Like I've said.
Under what provision do you want my address? Just make it clear to me.
Current counter-terrorism threat.
Yep.
You've been with this group of people all day. You're now on private property.
Yep.
You've disputed the fact that you're filming on private property. It's a massive football fixture. 54,000 people are going to be present. You've not got a ticket.
A camera
private land.
A camera isn't a device for terrorist purposes.
And you're acting suspiciously.
I'm not. You're just using every trick in the book. You know what you're doing. Yeah. I know what you're doing. It's cool.
I'm not going any further. I'll give you my grounds.
Right from the start, this encounter highlights a textbook problem with stop and account procedures. The officer approaches the auditor simply because he's observing people near a fence. While officers can ask questions, the auditor isn't legally required to answer unless he's under arrest or specifically detained under the law. Immediately, the officer leaps to counterterrorism powers, demanding a name and address. This is a huge overreach. Under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act 2000, an officer must have reasonable suspicion that someone is involved in terrorism to stop or search them. Just standing on a public road or parking lot filming does not meet that standard. The officer also raises the issue of private property. Keep in mind, in the UK, trespass is normally a civil matter, not criminal, unless it escalates to aggravated trespass. By trying to demand personal information, the police are inserting themselves into a civil dispute without any lawful authority.
So what provision are you enforcing, sir? Just to make it clear. No, what provision?
Like I've explained.
What provision? What section of what?
Under the counter-terrorism law.
Which section?
I'm obliged to ask for your name and address.
Yeah, but which section?
Which section?
Yeah, I need to know for my personal records, because I keep personal records.
That's fine. I'll refer to my pocket notebook and I'll give you a full legislation here. But whilst we're doing that, you give me your name and address.
But you've got access to PNLD. If you can find a section, I'll comply with you.
That's fine. Good man. Have you got permission off the club to be here? No.
I haven't been asked by the landowner to leave, but
not at the moment you haven't. But obviously this is a football fixture and we're on behalf of the club.
You want to do the thing? I'll comply with you. I'm going in a minute anyway, dude.
You're going nowhere at the moment. Okay, you're detained until I
detained?
confirm your name and address.
Under what section am I detained?
I'm going to confirm that shortly, okay?
Shortly, because...
under the counter-terrorism legislation, you've been acting suspiciously all day around a large group of people.
You know I haven't.
This part is almost excruciating to watch. The auditor calmly asks a basic, fundamental question. Which specific provision are you relying on? The officer can't answer on the spot. Instead, he pulls out his phone to consult the police national legal database, PNLD. This is a major problem. If an officer is depriving someone of their liberty, as he openly admits by saying the auditor is detained, he must know the legal authority for doing so before taking action. You cannot detain a citizen first and then Google the law afterwards. That alone arguably renders detention unlawful from the very start. According to Pace Code A, officers are required to clearly state both the legal power and the grounds before commencing any search or detention. Here, That obligation was completely ignored.
Because you don't like me being here.
I've got body-worn
Even
footage
though-
of you all
So
day
have I.
in the city centre.
So have I.
Which concerns me slightly.
Why is it
Because
concerning?
I'm lawfully obliged to take my video capture. You've said you press, you've got no
Right,
press
come on
badge.
then. What do you want? My name and address, yeah?
Be lovely, yeah. Driving licence, any ID.
Just
And can you
to...
confirm which press agency you're working for, or
No.
you freelance?
Just to... which section am I providing these to you?
I will give you the section, like I've said. At the minute,
So I'm detained without a section, without a... I'm just detained.
Yes, you are, yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am sure.
What's your calling number for me?
There's my calling number.
18241. Cheers, brother. There you
Very
go.
much. I appreciate that.
No worries.
In 20 years of policing, mate.
You've messed up, not me, mate.
Yeah.
You know this, and
I
your colleague knows
disagree-
as well.
I disagree entirely.
No, your colleague knows as well. She's laughing.
Disagree entirely, mate.
I know, dude. I know. Don't worry about it.
That's fine.
We all make mistakes, my friend.
Are you known
It's
to the
section
police?
43, I think.
Well, it's very kind of you to try
No
and
worries.
reference that. Once I've put you through and I've confirmed
At
you.
this point, the officer begins fishing for identification. In the UK, unlike some other countries, you are not legally required to carry or show ID to police unless you're driving a vehicle or are formally suspected of committing an offense. The officer tries to justify it by claiming the auditor is acting suspiciously around a crowd, similar to powers under Section 50 of the Police Reform Act. But here's the key point. Being suspicious is not a crime. Officers must have reasonable grounds to suspect a specific offense is occurring. Instead, the officer is misusing the Terrorism Act as a blanket tool to compel identification. A clear example of what's called fishing for information, which is an abuse of police powers.
Are you registered at this address? Because it's an offence not to have the correct
Registered.
address on your driving licence. Are you registered at that address?
It's an offence to drive with it, but
So it's an offence to have the wrong address on your driving licence.
what do you mean registered at the address?
Basically, do you live
Do you live at that address?
Yeah, sometimes. You know, mate, you know.
I'm not going to take on any further, but you know what you're doing.
I know, I do.
What I will confirm with Manchester City is they're going to get your photo on their club
Dude,
cameras as well.
I don't
before we
care. I
finish.
don't follow football. It's for these kind of people. Don't follow football. Don't follow football. Not remotely interested, honestly. Do your worst. Tell the SAS.
It's frozen, so you have to bear with me for the moment, okay?
So am I detained under section 40?
The officer tries to argue that because the auditor doesn't have a formal press pass, he isn't press. Legally, that's completely wrong. The UK doesn't require journalists to be licensed. Anyone can act as a freelance photographer or citizen journalist. Credit where it's due. The officer remains relatively composed despite the auditor's sarcastic remarks. However, the officer taking a photo of the auditor on his personal or work phone is highly questionable. While police can gather intelligence, photographing someone who isn't under arrest can be seen as a serious intrusion of privacy, even if officers often justify it as identifying a person for intelligence report.
At the moment.
You've referenced that. I've not given you my full grounds, but what I have told you is I've got enough grounds currently, based on your actions today and the evidence on my body-worn
Right,
video,
okay.
to suggest
So-
you're up to no good.
To suggest I'm up to no good.
If you've provided the fact that you're filming for a company and you've got permission
I'm not filming
to
for
be
a
here,
company.
You said you remember the press.
I'm freelance press. Anyone can be press. You can be press.
Yes, if you have a badge and ID.
No. You can consider yourself press. You can take photos. You're freelance.
I've spoken to many freelance press officers before,
Yeah.
and they all have ID.
We're not required to carry identification in the UK. We are not required to carry any ID in the UK, whether we are a banker, a press photographer, or a footballer. You don't need to carry any ID. I promise you, sir.
I'm still frozen,
No worries.
so we're still here. Okay.
Still detained indefinitely.
Well, once
with
I've
no
confirmed your
section.
details,
You can write it down. No problem.
Officer openly admits he hasn't provided the required 4 grounds for detention. This is a major failure. Any detention must be necessary, proportionate, and lawful without clearly stated grounds. The detention is technically invalid at this point. Several minutes have already passed, and the officer is still scrolling through his phone, searching for justification. Pace Code A is explicit. A detention should be as brief as possible. Holding someone while looking up how to do your job crosses a line. It becomes an unreasonably long stop and search.
Here we go, we're on. System's working.
So
What we'll do also, I'm going to fill in an intelligence submission when I go back to the station, okay? Detailing this stop and why we've done it, okay?
as you're required to do. Terrifying.
Officer mentions he will be submitting an intelligence report, which exposes the real reason behind this stop, data harvesting. It's clear he isn't actually expecting to find anything dangerous. He just wants a name for the database. Using Section 43 powers purely to gather intelligence is unlawful. If there isn't a genuine suspicion of terrorism, any search or detention under this section is invalid. If the officer truly believed the auditor was a terrorist, why allow him to simply stand there holding a camera? The camera isn't a weapon, and the officer isn't controlling his hands. His body language completely contradicts the gravity of the legislation he's quoting, revealing the encounter for what it really is, a misuse of authority under the guise of counterterrorism.
Shame you didn't do one of these against Salman Abedi.
Again, it's really...
Nothing to do with you. Nothing. I get it.
If that's how you feel, mate, that's how you feel.
No worries.
It's okay.
You know I'm not a terrorist. I know I'm not a terrorist. She knows I'm not a terrorist. He knows I'm not a terrorist because he's seen me all day filming football fans, and he knows I'm press.
I know you're not up to no good, mate.
You know I'm up to no good. You know for a fact.
Yeah, you're trying to mouth off and go on about the Manchester bomb and be disrespectful to what I do.
What?
I've just
What
told
am I
you.
doing that's up to no good?
You're filming in a private area, large groups of public, entering an iconic site.
You're
within
allowed
Manchester.
to access this until you're asked to leave.
Right.
Trespass is a civil matter. It's not illegal.
Yeah. You're trying to question every ground I've
Of
given
course
you.
I am, because I have civil rights, and the second I give them up, I'll lose them. You're the one being unlawful here, not me. This is an
The
unlawful...
officer brings up the Manchester bombing, clearly trying to justify his actions. While tragic events understandably raise security concerns, they do not give officers the right to override civil liberties or ignore legal procedures. This is an emotional appeal, not a legal argument. The auditor points out that he's filming on private property, but one that is open to the public, since the landowner hasn't asked him to leave. He isn't committing trespass. At this point, the police are acting more like private security than law enforcement, enforcing policy instead of the law. The officer also claimed the auditor is being disrespectful, but that's irrelevant. Being rude to police is not a crime and provides no legal basis for detention or coercion.
Because you haven't quoted the section or the provision.
This is a stop and account.
Yeah.
Have I laid a finger on you?
You've detained me.
Have I laid a finger on you?
That is an assault because you've detained me unlawfully. You know it's an assault. You don't have to touch someone for an assault. You know that. You're a cop. You know that. This is an unlawful stop search. £500 per hour, sir. You know.
That's an opinion from yourself.
No, it's fact, case law. I've done it a few times.
Very well.
Don't worry, it's going, man. Don't worry.
You'll notice that's not speeding up my process. I'm doing my job now, okay?
Don't worry, dude. If it goes over an hour, it'll be... It's easy. You know what unlawful detention looks like. You know what it looks like.
Mate, I understand my powers, I understand my grounds, okay?
You haven't given reasonable grounds for a terrorist search.
Well,
you haven't given any grounds.
I've told you what
You just said suspicious activity.
Debate arises over whether an assault has occurred. The officer asks, "Have I laid a finger on you?" implying that no physical contact means no wrongdoing. But under UK law, false imprisonment or unlawful detention does not require physical touch. That if an officer tells someone they cannot leave without lawful authority, that alone constitutes a deprivation of liberty. In court, the key question would be whether a reasonable person could genuinely suspect that a man holding a camera is a terrorist. The answer is overwhelmingly clear. No.
What's your current address? We've got 2 addresses on the system for you.
What address have you got, and I'll confirm it.
We've got this one, and we've got an address.
Just put that one.
That one. Okay. So you're living there at the moment.
Sometimes, yeah. I'm a vulnerable adult with mental health conditions. I live at separate addresses, and I'm under the care of separate people.
Okay. What mental health conditions have you got?
Paranoid schizophrenia.
Right. Do you wish to share how you're feeling at the moment?
Fine.
Need any support? Do you need any support?
No.
Okay.
I'm on medication.
Yeah.
I'm under a mental health
Have you got a
team.
casework? Have you got a care work?
Yep.
Do you need me to speak to them at all?
No.
You
Fine.
sure?
Absolutely fine.
Okay.
I was
based on what
perfectly
you've said
enjoying
now,
myself.
based on what you've said,
Yep.
I've got a duty of care to make sure that you either get home safe or I speak to a care worker to confirm.
I'm trying to get home. I was just going over, just as you approached
Are you
me.
with the chap on the bike?
Just as you approached me, yeah.
Right, okay.
I wouldn't like you to disclose any of my personal medical
No,
information to
no.
him.
Dynamic shifts when the auditor reveals he is a vulnerable adult with mental health issues. To the officer's credit, his tone softens immediately and he references a duty of care. But this moment also exposes potential risk. Officers can sometimes misuse Section 136 of the Mental Health Act, which allows the detention of someone with a mental disorder in immediate need of care as a fallback when criminal grounds fail. In this case, it feels less like genuine concern and more like the officers searching for a way to end the encounter without losing face.
I was just
All we
literally
need to know is you're going
changing
with
the
him.
battery and going home until you unlawfully detain me here.
That's your opinion.
I know it is.
Okay.
We're not
You've
going to
got
get any
somebody to
further
go
out.
home with.
I'm
Well-
perfectly able to go home. Promise you. Promise you that.
Okay. Right, thanks very much. I'm going to ask you to leave the area now, okay?
Sorry?
I'm going to ask you to leave the area to the gate and then that's public land.
I'm going home anyway. That is
Okay.
that was my plan. Just as I was changing the battery, I was going home.
If you'd have said that as we'd have spoken to you, perhaps
I
things
did.
would have been differently.
I did.
Okay.
See you in a
You have
bit.
a good night.
You too.
The encounter wraps up with the officer simply asking the auditor to leave. Notably, no search ever took place. Despite detaining him under Section 43 for stop and search, the officer never actually searched him. This makes it clear that the entire exercise was purely about obtaining ID and moving him on. The interaction is a textbook failure procedure. The officer detained a citizen without clear legal grounds, didn't fully understand the legislation, failed to conduct the search he claimed he was authorized to do, and essentially misused the counterterrorism power to carry out what amounted to a civil trespass eviction.